What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave. That's B.
Oh, you
And
got it
right
right.
now we are. I know I had to point which way, right?
Yeah.
And right now we are. Dang, you made me lose my train of thought.
Sorry, we are going to do a review on Fackham Hall.
Fuck 'em all. Yeah, that's right. Fuck them all. As part of our April Fool's Month. That's right. We're still doing April Fool's Month. Make sure you guys go check out our previous review on the Naked Gun, as well as over on TikTok, where B just dropped a review of a episode of a very classic TV show that many people used to love back in the day, Ed, and Eddie. Yes, they had an April Fool's episode. Make sure you check out that review. And stay tuned to the channel over on Instagram, here, TikTok. You never know when another review will pop up. But yeah. Now I keep forgetting what I'm about to say. I keep running my train of thought crazy. Exciting time for the channel. We got some great news. We'll talk about that more. But we are going to be popping up places. We'll have more information on that. Or should we tell the people now?
It's more to come. We just got to wait and see what's going on.
More to come. More to come. But
It's like we know, but y'all will find out.
y'all will find out. But if y'all follow us on social media, y'all might know. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. Make sure you follow us there. And if you enjoy our reviews, even if you just like our personalities from the minute and 40 seconds you've been sitting here watching us talk, not even really getting to the movie yet, hey, subscribe, hit the like button, follow us on socials, and all that good stuff. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Fackham Hall. This is, so if you guys watched last week, we talked about The Naked Gun, which was a parody movie, a remake of the original Naked Gun, which was a parody movie. And this here is also a parody movie. This is more so a parody of the British shows like Bridgerton,
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey. I don't know any other ones. Those are the only two I know. Those are the only two I know. And this is yeah, and it's actually really I keep losing my train of thought, dog, because I was trying to think of another British show. But yeah, it's a parody of those, and it follows a young lady played by Thomasin Mackenzie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Mackenzie. As she's part of a family called the Davenports, and she has to marry in order for the Davenports to keep their fortune and their Fackham Hall, not Fuckham Hall, Fackham Hall. And she, in the process, she ends up meeting this guy, played by Ben
Radcliffe. Yeah.
Yes, Ben Radcliffe. And he is like, he's like a pickpocket and stuff like that. And they end up falling in love, but they have a forbidden love. But of course, there's the twist and stuff like that, which I think really works if you watch the a lot of the British shows, like we mentioned. But it also works on a story level as well. Right off the bat, this is a very clever movie. I said, I don't know if I mentioned this during the last review, but it's really nice to see the return of parody movies. I know this year we have Scary Movie 6 coming out. And there's also another parody movie coming out with RuPaul. Stop That Plane.
Train.
Stop That Train. Stop That Train. So yeah, and the thing about parody movies that and I think I kind of alluded to this in the Naked Gun review, is that they are inherently very, very silly. And watching Fackham Hall, we saw this in theaters, and we held off on this review just for this exact moment, as a matter of fact. Because
we saw this like 5 months ago.
So you know what's funny? What's really, really funny? You want to know when this movie came out?
November?
Right. It was December. It was 5 months ago. I thought, because I saw somewhere it said February. I was like, February?
Nah, it wasn't February.
No, that's why I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, so we did see this when it came out in theaters. We saw it, and it came out last December. And the thing about this movie is it's very clever with the jokes, just right off the bat. A lot of clever setups, and what kind of separates it from a lot of the parody movies that I've seen before is that this is one of the ones where it's like, you'll see the setup, they'll point the setup out, and then the payoff when it happens, it's just like, oh, like it's real funny in that way. I'll let I'll let you talk a little bit more about this because you actually watch the shows like the Bridgertons and the Downton Abbeys and the other ones I don't know the names of. As a fan of those shows, tell us, how does this hold up in terms of parody? Because we talked earlier, and I said that this movie kind of is like what Don't Be a Menace was for me, right?
Right.
I didn't see like Juice, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. I didn't see those movies before I saw Don't Be a Menace for the first time. But I watched Don't Be a Menace and I was like, yo, this is really funny. And
But
then
then when you watch the other movies, you was like, oh.
yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Like this was a play on that moment. This is a play on these things, and these are things that happen in those movies, and this thing is making fun of that.
Right.
This isn't necessarily it does I wouldn't say like the humor does the same thing as a Don't Be a Menace, but it does something similar to that. So B, I'll let you talk more about that.
So this movie was definitely like a bridge between the seriousness of like the Downton Abbeys and the Bridgerton and stuff like that, and just putting it more in like a funny light. Like if you do watch shows like that, then you do, like Dave was saying, see the setup of things as they're about to happen. Um and then some of the stuff is just like so drawn out, like the dad when he was killed. I mean, if you haven't seen the movie in 5 months and like you haven't seen the movie, that's on you. And
Hey, hey,
also,
hey, whoa, whoa, whoa! But if you do want to watch the movie, it's now streaming on HBO Max.
there you go. But a funny thing, dang, you made me lose my train of thought.
Oh, you were talking about the dad when he got shot.
Yo, that part, it was like the lead up to him actually dying. This man got abused in death, and he wasn't even dying for real. And it wasn't until like the smallest thing killed him at the end that you're just like, all that you should have died like four punctures ago.
No,
Like,
yeah, that was something pretty funny. Um, I specifically remember one joke that really stuck with me was the like the ink joke, the ink shortage joke. It'll be something like that. Like, so this is a perfect example of like one of the jokes that's just like set up brilliantly, and
hmm
then you get the payoff while paying attention because a lot of this movie has a lot of background jokes. So like
yes.
the entire moments leading up to it, the boys yelling, ink shortage, national ink shortage, there's a shortage of ink, shortage of ink, we're running out of ink. So like you see little signs around them that have like signs that are like half done because of the
Oh
ink
yeah,
shortage.
the newspapers.
Oh my god. So then you get to like these buses and things in the background, and you see like they kind of stop, but again, parody movies are inherently childish. Okay, you'll have like
Yes.
the most childish joke, like you'll have a dick joke, a cock joke, you'll have you'll have these just
Oh
very
yeah, oh,
childish,
what was the one where
immature jokes.
the butler was sitting outside with his butt out? It's like,
So yeah,
and the guy parked his bike.
oh
He
yeah,
parked his bike.
and so you'll have childish things like that, and even and it's just so funny the different jokes you catch. Even the when the title drop comes, and it's like, and
hmm
nothing was going to stand in his way, and then the title comes and slides in front of him, and he has to like swerve the bike over. It's like, and I'm watching this, and I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, like, what is the art of making something like this? Because it's so childish, but it's just
Yes.
so funny at the same time because it's like this is just like, and I'm watching this. Like I said, I saw this in theaters, and B was right. B was cracking the fuck up the entire film. She was laughing her head off. I
Yes.
got a couple of good chuckles in the beginning, but I was like, I don't really get a lot of the jokes. And I never thought it wasn't. I never thought it wasn't funny. Okay, I did think it was funny. There were jokes in there. There was a Bechdel test joke.
hmm
And for those of you who don't know what the Bechdel test is, I'm going to try to explain it the best way I know, right? It's basically, it sees how long a movie or a show can go that has women in it, how long that show or TV show can go without talking about a man, without those women talking about a man. And the Bechdels, they had the Bechdel sisters, and their entire scene was them talking about a man. And then they're like, "Oh, did you meet the Bechdel sisters?" I heard that joke. I bust out laughing. I was like, "Yo, that was clever. That was so clever." And then the ink shortage joke was one of my favorite ones.
Hmm.
Yeah, there were so many good ones in there. The stand up and sit down part. You don't have to stand every time I come into a room.
Oh, and then they didn't know what to do.
It's just
Sorry.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry if you hear that music in the background.
Oh, I don't.
Okay, I
Now we
do.
do.
But no,
um,
the and when it premiered, like, what was it? We like three people in the theater, two of them being me and you.
yeah.
And while I was sitting there cracking up laughing, the person in the back was silent the entire movie. Like,
I mean, but and that's not a knock to the movie though. I just think it's like again, like, and because parody movies they started to get overdone. Okay,
hmm
and we're gonna in the next couple of reviews we have, they're gonna be we're gonna be taking a look back at other parody movies, and you'll see what movies we'll be talking about when we get there. But they took a break because they started to happen too much. We started to get flooded with them. So they started to not be funny. They started to lose their taste. But
hmm
getting them back, it feels refreshing. And it's not that it's just refreshing, it's that they're coming back and they're very tasteful. And that's the one thing that I did love about this movie and The Naked Gun, but more so this movie is that the jokes they were just very tasteful. And it was just exciting to see just something purely comedic happening in the background, in the foreground, off to the side. There was
hmm
really poop jokes and bathroom humor are considered some of the uh lowest hanging fruit when it comes to comedy.
But they are hilarious.
Oh man, did they? I watched it again recently, and I noticed they set up, and again I keep saying they set up these jokes. They did a really good job setting up the poop joke that they had in this movie. They masterfully set that up. I was like, wow, I didn't even realize how well they made that a point. So it's like it didn't just happen randomly. There was a reason
hmm
it happened. There was something that led up to it. And it's just different things like that. One of the things that this movie makes fun of is that apparently in these British shows, there's a lot of freaking incest, but cousins
Oh
having married.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, touch a little bit on that. No pun
So
intended.
So if you are a fan of shows like Bridgerton or Downton Abbey, that is definitely something that they do in order to keep the household in the family name. They'll have the girls in the family marry a cousin or a second or third cousin just to keep the family home with them. And then it's like as soon as that person marries, it's either they can become the head of that family and take over everything, including the business, or they leave. The daughter leaves with the husband and goes to his family, but it's like everybody's family.
Right.
So that's like a big that's like a running thing in there. Is like if you're a girl in the family and you have a second or third cousin, that's definitely about to be your husband. Like, and
And
you
then,
don't even have to love them. Like, they're just like, nah, this is just happening. Like,
yeah,
you're
and they do something really funny where they kind of play with how you have the one person that's supposed to get married, they all of a sudden like, I can't do this because I fell in love with someone else. And
yeah, and you think it's gonna be somebody great, and it's not.
just that scene alone was just like, wow, that's crazy. It was another scene too. The priest still has me cracking up because the
Oh,
priest will say things like, we're here to marry these two assholes. We're here to marry these two assholes. So like what it is like he'll read. I guess he's reading an entire sentence,
He's
but he's
reading one
forgetting to
sentence,
put the
one
pause.
line.
Yeah, he's reading all one line, so he's not putting the pause in there, he's not putting the comma there. So what he's saying sounds messed up. It's like everyone, no one's like shocked. They're just letting him do it, and he'll go back and
Yes.
correct himself. But it's think clever things like that is what really makes me enjoy this movie, and it makes it makes it more watchable for me. And even in the end, this kind of turns into like somewhat of a murder mystery, and I think it's actually kind of making fun of the Knives Out movies or something.
You
What's
think
the
so?
other one? Not Knives Out, but what's the other ones? We saw one of the movies in the theaters. The what's it? The Haunting in Venice. Remember that one? I
Okay.
think it was making fun of those movies. With the guy came in with the mustache and the hat and everything like that. I think this movie it does. I think it was making fun of that, and then with the whole murder mystery and just how the detective was just not as smart as he seemed, but was very acting like he was very confident. So that's
Uh-huh.
kind of like what got him in the different rooms. Yeah, this and one of the other things I also like too, um, it's just the characters. I think what helps a good parody is when everyone just plays everything straight.
Mm.
And even though it's just like, okay, there's no way that should be normal, but everyone's just pretending that it is normal. And then when they do point out the absurdities, it makes it even funnier because it's like, okay, it's about time you pointed out how ridiculous one of these things were. Um, what about you, B? Like, what's something else that you found yourself enjoying with this film?
Um oh, definitely the banter and the whole aura about marrying the cousin who was played by
Tom
Malfoy.
Felton.
Tom Felton. Malfoy,
Yeah,
Tom
Malfoy,
Felton.
Malfoy. Everybody knows him, Malfoy.
Right.
Yeah, he was really funny in this.
They were so disgusted by him. It was
They
like
were,
nobody wanted to marry him.
but then,
And
he was such an asshole. Though.
yes. And then some of it is kind of predictable. I will say that. Like
Yeah,
the twist on, who's legitimate and who's not legitimate in the family. But
yeah. But I mean,
that
not that we expected it to be deep.
no, 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 not at all. But it was predictable. Like I even told you when we was in the theater who, like the main character was part of the family. Like
Yeah.
spoiler if you didn't see it already.
Yeah. I'm about to say spoiler alert. Babe. You were doing so well.
I know.
Yeah, no, but that's to your credit though. That's another thing that I do find enjoyable about this movie because just like with the Naked Gun, not to keep invoking that name, but it's it's a good story. You know what I'm saying? Like the story itself is engaging. So
Mhm.
it's like, even if you don't get as many laughs, it is very easy to become invested because the movie actually has a plot. And I think that's what most of the parody movies didn't have back then. Um or started to lose track of was plot. It's just like, oh, after a while, they just became, oh, let's just put a whole bunch of silly jokes in here and just, connect things together very loosely.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if the movies that we'll be going and revisiting in the upcoming weeks will have that problem, but I think that'll be fun or not fun, not so much fun as interesting to see what 2025 parodies, because this one and the previous review, they both came out in 2025. Seeing how they compare to parody movies that came out, um, I guess during the height of when those things were expected.
Mhm.
So I think that'll be one of the more interesting things to do. Because like I said before, I feel like we're in a really good resurgence of comedy.
Oh
Not
yeah,
not action
definitely.
comedy, not horror comedy, but just straight up comedy. And parody movies coming back full force, being like the leading factor. I mean, come on, we're getting a Scary Movie 6. We're
Hmm.
getting the return of the Wayne's brothers writing a parody movie. Like, I think that we are in a really good renaissance, and especially if scary movies good, we are scary movie and the RuPaul movie Stop That Train. If those movies are really good and really funny, I think that we are definitely going to be in a renaissance for not just parody movies but comedy. I'm excited about that because I love to laugh. um, is anything else? Anything else stand out to you that you want to bring up about this movie before we go into rating?
um. Oh, one thing I forgot, the how they represented the American guests that came.
Oh man,
They were so obnoxious. Oh my gosh. And it was just like, this is really what they probably think of American people over
no,
there.
no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Oh, what about the yeah? So they have a J.R.R. Tolkien
Uh-huh.
is in the movie trying to write the Lord of the Rings.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I thought that was funny too, because they show him like coming up with like the language for that world, and
Hmm.
then comes up with the Gollum character. It's very yeah. This movie it doesn't shy away from making modern references. Like there's a Siri and Alexa joke in there, of course. Like I said, it doesn't shy away from like the lowbrow, like, oh well, of course you do that. You know, it's got nothing better to joke about. It doesn't shy away from that, but it
Hmm.
also gives you something fresh at the same time. At least for me. I don't know. What would you say the same thing?
Uh, just having it be a parody of like those other shows like Bridgerton and Downton Abbey, it was refreshing. But I kind of take it back to like Airplane and what is it, Spaceballs and stuff like that. So it was kind of like that kind of humor that I was seeing and I was getting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I can agree with you with that because I did get a lot of Mel Brooks from
Hmm.
watching this. Like there were some very there were yeah, it did feel a lot in line with Mel Brooks. And speaking of Spaceballs, there's another Spaceballs movie coming out next year. So it's like we
Yeah,
are
I'm
in
excited for
a
that.
yeah, we're like in a resurgence of sorts of parody movies. I'm excited to see where these go and how long we can get good ones before the bad ones come back around.
And
So
I'm here for the bad ones too. Like
no, seriously, and trust me,
how
we got bad ones.
like
we got
how bad can you make it? And am I going to laugh? Like
well, listen, like I said, well, in the coming weeks, we are going to be going back and visiting what could be considered some pretty bad ones. So,
mm.
best way to keep up with those is to make sure you guys subscribe and follow us on socials. But before we go ahead and get into all that stuff, B, what is your rating for this film?
I would give this a 4.5 out of 5. Only because I was cracking up laughing like the entire time. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie in the theater, and I will be, playing it back so I can watch it again, try to catch some of the stuff that I may have missed, because again, there was a lot of background jokes that you have to look out for on top of what's already there, the surface stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Even I just thought about this. It was the one obvious joke that happened where she tripped over the log,
Mm.
and I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was coming. It happened, and I still laughed because it took its time, and that's another thing I do like. It takes its time with the obvious jokes. Like, oh yeah, no, that's going to happen, but just wait,
Hmm.
just hold on. Um, uh, for me, I will give this movie. What did you give? You said 4.5.
Yeah, I said a 4.5.
4.5. Um, I think for me, having being someone who has not watched any of those British shows, I watched a
Mhm.
little bit of Bridgerton. I watched like 4 seconds total of Downton Abbey.
That's not enough.
Um, I would give this. I give it about a 4.8. I give it a 4.8 out of 5.
Okay.
I give it 4 out of 5. Like I said, I like the cleverness of the jokes. I cannot deny good comedy. I like the cleverness of the jokes. I love the setups. And honestly, I would give it a 5 if I actually did watch those shows. I probably would give it a 5.
Yes, because
But
then you would understand the joke of a 23-year-old woman being a spinster.
yeah, because I don't even fucking I don't even know what that means. I feel like there were so many things that I would have caught on to, but the fact that it did give me some things that I did catch and that I did thoroughly enjoy, I have to definitely, like I said, I definitely slided at a 4.8. And in case you guys are wondering what the critics thought about this film, this is sitting at a 74% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb. So that sounds good to me. I mean, yeah, I rock with it. Fackham Hall, rated R. So I mean, can you watch around the kids? Yeah, there's a couple of dick jokes in there that might be a
Oh yeah,
little
and you
raunchy.
definitely see one
Yeah, 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 yeah. There's a couple
for
that
like a
might be a
brief
little
second.
raunchy. So
Like a brief second.
maybe not your younger ones, but like you're
It's
slightly older.
definitely
You're
teenage
teenage.
boy humor.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you're teenagers. You can watch it with your teens. Like, not nothing younger than 13. Nothing younger than 14.
there you go.
Nothing younger than 14. No one younger than 14 should watch this. But you, if you're 14 or above, if you're 21 and up, definitely give this watch on HBO Max. You'll definitely enjoy it. But yeah, that's all we have for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this review, like we said earlier, hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Comment down below. What was your favorite parody movie? Do you have a favorite? Let us know in the comments down below. Hey, maybe we might even talk about it. Okay, who
Oh.
knows? But until next time, y'all, we really appreciate you for tuning in. Follow us on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. And until next time, y'all, be easy, stay breezy, keep laughing, because life is funny sometimes. Okay, life is funny sometimes. You gotta find the humor in everything. That's my inspirational quote for the day. All right. Peace.